Let's study another topic of vectors in the three-dimensional space. And today's objective is to apply the distance and the midpoint formulas to find the length and the midpoint of a line segment. Now, if you remember, we already have studied in previous algebraic lessons that the midpoint formula can be given by the formula x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. What is actually the midpoint of a line? So if the two lines are joined, the initial point will be named as the coordinates of the initial point are x1 and y1, whereas the coordinates of the final points or the terminal points are x2 and y2, and if you join together, so the point which cuts the line into two equal parts is said to be the midpoint. So this middle point which cuts the whole line into two equal parts is actually the midpoint, and in order to find it we take the average of the 2 points. So we add the 2 points and divide it by the 2. Similarly, in order to find the length of this line, any line, we use the distance formula. And it is the square root of x square minus x1, the difference of the coordinates of the points. So x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Now distance always be positive. So whether, because it's an absolute value and distance cannot be negative. Okay, so and also the distance is squared. That's why also it produces a positive result. Now let's try to understand how can we apply these formulas to find the length and the midpoint of the segment of the given endpoints. So the 2 points are given to you. Okay, so name it as first x1, y1 and z1 because we are studying the three-dimensional space. And similarly, we have another point x2, y2 and z2. So first of all, we will find out the length. So what is the formula of the length? So you will use the distance formula or you can write the L, no problem at all. Make the square root and take the differences of the points. X coordinate with the x coordinate, difference of y with the y and difference of the z with the z and square them. So x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. Now what you have to do? You have to just put the values in the equation. So what is your x2? x2 is 2 minus x1 is 8 whole square plus y2, y2 is 8. Then this formula minus is here. And y1 is negative 3. So you can write it as negative 3 in the bracket or you can just write negative 3. But don't forget to close the bracket and put the power 2. Okay, plus now z2 is negative 4 minus z1 is 9 whole square. Now write this whole thing in the calculator to get your final answer. Okay, now the second question or the B part is to find out the midpoint. Now again, since we are studying the three-dimensional space, so we have the x, y and z coordinates. So what is the formula of the midpoint? Will be x1 plus x2, take the, add the 2 points and divide it by the 2. Then for the y, similarly y1 plus y2 divided by the 2. And after that, add the z coordinates, so z1 plus z2 and divided by the 2. Okay, so find out the midpoint. So x1 is 8 plus x2 is 2 divided by 2, comma, y1 you can see negative 3 plus y2 is 8 divided by 2. So simply I am not doing any any scientific thing, only just I'm substituting the values which are already given in the question in the formula, and that's all. Now Z1 is 9 plus Z2 is negative 4, and you know that plus minus is minus, so plus minus is minus, okay, divided by the 2. Close the big bracket. Okay, now this one is easy to calculate. So 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Negative 3 positive 8 is 5. 5 divided by 2. You can write 5 over 2, or you can write 2.5. No problem. Then 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is again 2.5. So these are the midpoints of the given line segment. Let's practice another question. Find the length at the midpoint of the segment with the given endpoint. So what is the first step? The first step is that you name them. The first bracket, all these coordinate, name it as x1, y1 and z1. Okay. For the second coordinates, you write it as x2, y2 and z2. That's all. This is the only work which you have to do it. Now you know the formula of the distance. To find the length, we apply the distance formula. You write L, you write D, no problem. Now we have the three coordinates, okay, 3 points. So x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. After that, you just substitute the values. So what is x2? It's 7. Then this minus is here. And x1 is negative 6. So write it as negative 6, because two signs we cannot write together. And don't forget to close this bracket and put the power 2. Then plus. Now y2. y2 is negative 2. Then we have this negative sign. Okay, the formula negative is here. Then what is y1? y1 is negative 12. So we write here negative 12, close, and again don't forget to close the bracket and put the power 2. Okay, then we have plus. Now what is z2? It's negative 11 minus. This minus is the formula minus. Then what is z1? It's negative 8. So negative 8. Close and then close and put the power 2. Now remember, most of the students, what mistake they normally do? They don't put the two minuses. They just put the formula minus and they carry on the question, which leads them to the wrong answer. Now, as it is written on the screen, as you see on the screen, write the same way in the calculator to get your final answer. Now what is the B part? The B part states find the midpoint. So let's try to find the midpoint. Okay, so what is the formula of the midpoint? If it's a 3D coordinate system. So x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Then y1 plus y2 divided by 2, comma, then z1 plus z2 divided by 2. Okay, so you already have labeled x1, x2, everything. Okay, so just put it here. What is x1? Negative 6. And this plus is here. What is x2? It's 7. And then divide by 2, comma. Now what is y1? y1 is negative 12 plus what is y2? It's negative 2. Okay, so it's negative 2, close, and divided by 2. And remember that plus and minus gives us minus. Even you can write directly in the calculator. No need to do plus minus like these things. Okay. Then you have z1. z1 is negative 8 plus z2 is negative 11 divided by 2. Okay, let's try to find this answer, because this we can do it manually. Negative 6 plus 7 is 1. 1 divided by 2 you can write, or you can write 0.5. Negative 12, negative 2, it is give you negative 14, and negative 14 divided by 2 gives us negative 7. Then negative 8, negative 11 gives us negative 19 divided by 2. So this is how we calculate the length and the midpoint of the segment if the endpoints are given to us. Now here is the real life problem, and it's so easy. The only thing is that just skim the text quickly. Okay, so read the last line. What do they require? So here they are saying that the coordinates of the ends of the beams are represented by these one, this and this points, and are given in feet. Find the length of the beam. Okay, so no need to read the whole equation, word problem. Just try to find out what they actually require. Okay, so you have to find the length. So you means you will apply the distance formula, and you know the distance formula: x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square equal sign. Now what is your x2? So let's see here and write it on the top. x1 here, x2, and here is our x1, y1 and z1. And this one is x2, y2 and z2. Okay, now put it in the formula. So what is x2? x2 is 70 minus x1 is 30 whole square plus y2 is 80 minus y1 is 40 whole square plus z2 is 20 minus z1 is 10 whole square. Now put it in the formula. Okay, put it in the calculator and your final answer will be 57.45. Now since all this you have to calculate the beam in the feet, so don't forget to put the feet over here. And you also calculate it so that you can see that you are writing each and everything in the calculator properly. Let's go back to the second point. Second is that find out the midpoint. Okay, find the coordinates of the midpoint. So again the same thing, x1, y1 and z1 are given, x2, y2, z2 are given to you. You only have to write the formula of the midpoint, which is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Then yes, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And yes, z1 plus z2 divided by 2. Now put all these things, the coordinates in the formula. So what is x1? It's 30 plus x2 is 70 divided by 2. So our y1 is 40 over here and our y2 is 80 divided by 2. Now our z1 is 10 plus z2 is 20 divided by 2. So let's calculate. 30 plus 70, 100, 100 divided by 2 is 50. 40 plus 80, 120, 120 divided by 2 is 60. 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 divided by 2 is 15. So our coordinates are 50, 60 and 15. I hope that these questions are clear to you. The only thing is that when you look at the problems, don't get distracted. Just try to pick the right thing, what the question is asking to find out. Oh, here is another question. During a visit to a national park, two visitors kept in touch by relaying their coordinates. Blah blah blah. The coordinates of the one visitor are represented by x1, y1 and z1, and the coordinates of the other vectors are other visitor is x2, y2 and z2, and you have to find out the distance and the coordinates of the halfway point. Now you know the formula of distance, you know the formula of midpoint. Now if you look here, you have the two answers similar for the distance, okay? Whereas if you look over here, the two answers for the midpoint are different. So if this kind of the question is given to me in a multiple choice question, then I will first of all find out the midpoint, okay, to make sure that what is my answer. Okay, so midpoint is x1 plus x2. So x1 is 80 plus x2 is 30 divided by 2. So y1 is 20, y2 is 50 divided by 2. Z1 is 30 and Z2 is 10 divided by 2. So 80 plus 30 is 110. 110 divided by 2 is 55. So it could be over here or it could be this one, right? Okay, so 55. Then 20 plus 50 is 70. 70 divided by 2 is 35. And 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 divided by 2 is 20. Okay, so maybe my first answer is correct or maybe my C answer is correct. The B and D are eliminated. So now I have to find out my distance. Okay, so the formula, you know, x2 minus x1. So x2 is 30 minus 80 whole square with the square root plus y2 minus y1. So y2 is 50 and y1 is 20. So 50 minus 20 whole square plus, now z2 is 10 and z1 is 30 divided whole square. Write it in the calculator and you will get 61.6 meter. So the A option is correct. Next question. A supply shuttle travels between the two stations in space. The first station is at 1, 4 and -2 coordinates and the second station is at T7, -2 and 4 coordinates. Apply the midpoint formula to determine the halfway. So of course when they are asking us to find out the halfway checkpoint for the refueling, so we have to find out the midpoint. So what is the formula of midpoint? Now you must remember x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, z1 plus z2 divided by 2. So now let's name it as, okay, so I am writing over here. So the S coordinates, name it as x1, y1 and z1 and T coordinates as x2, y2 and z2. Okay, so what is our x1? x1 is 1, okay, and x2 is 7. So 1 plus 7 divided by 2. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now y1 is 4 plus y2 is -2 divided by 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then we have z1, that is -2 plus z2 is 4 divided by 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So these are the midpoints, exact halfway checkpoints for the refueling. Okay. Next question. A family from Des Moines, Iowa is driving to Tampa, Florida, blah, 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 according to the car's GPS. The altitude, longitude, latitude, and altitudes are this one. Okay, and for the Tampa are this one. You have to find out the longitude, yani X, the latitude, the Y, and altitude, the Z of the halfway point. So halfway point indicates the midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, and z1 plus z2 divided by 2. So what is our x1? x1 is 93.65 plus x2 is 82.53 and divided by 2. Now you calculate yourself. I will not waste my time to get in the calculation. You just write it down, divide by 2 and give the answer in the decimals. Then we have y1. So y1 is 41.53 plus y2 is 27.97 and then divided by 2. Similarly, z1 is 9. It's 95.5. It's not 955. 95.5 plus z2 is 19.7 and divided by 2. Write one by one in the calculator and get the final answers. Okay. And I'm moving to my next segment. A resort in Colorado has a series of zip lines that tourists can take to travel through some wooded areas. The platform of the first zip line is represented by the coordinates x1 1.5, y1 0.5 and z1 0.4, and the second platform can be represented by the points x2, y2 and z2 1.8, 1 and 0.2 respectively. How long is the zip line if the coordinates are in miles? How long it means they are asking you to find out the length. So apply the distance formula, which is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. Now replace the values. So what is our x2? Our x2 is 1.8 minus what is our x1? 1.5 whole square plus what is our y2? y2 is 1 minus y1 is 0.5 whole square plus z2 is 0.2 minus z1 is 0.4 and whole square. So write this as it is in the calculator and get the answer. The answer will be represented in miles because they are asking you to find the zip line's length in miles. Next question, the location of the two hikers are represented by the coordinates 10, 2, -5 and 7, -9 and 3, where the coordinates are given in kilometers and how far apart are the hikers. How far apart? It means you have to calculate the distance. So the formula you already know. So here we have to just label x1, y1 and z1 and over here x2, y2 and z2. So the first thing is x2 minus x1 whole square. So what is our x2? x2 is 7 minus x1 is 10 whole square, then plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So plus what is our y2? y2 is -9 minus what is y1? That is 2 whole square. Then complete the formula z2 minus z1 whole square and extend this line. So z2 is our 3 minus z1 is -5. When you write in the bracket, don't forget to close the bracket and then put the power 2 at the end. Write it in the calculator, get the answer. How far apart are the hikers and their coordinates are given in kilometers, so their distance will be given in kilometers. Don't forget to put the units at the end. The hikers decided to meet at the midpoint between their paths. What are the coordinates of the midpoint? So we know x1 plus x2 divided by 2. So our x1, y1 and z1 and here are the coordinates of x2, y2 and z2. x1 is 10 plus x2 is 7 divided by 2. And then y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So our y1 is 2 plus y2 is negative 9 divided by 2. Then z1 plus z2 divided by 2. So our z1 is negative 5 plus z2 is 3 divided by 2. 10 plus 7 is 17 divided by 2 or 8.5. And minus 9 plus 2 will give us again negative 7 divided by 2 means negative 3.5. Negative 5 plus 3 gives us negative 2 divided by 2. So it gives us negative 1. So these are the coordinates of the midpoint where they both will meet with each other. So safety regulations required airplanes to be at least half miles apart with each other. So for example, if the two airplanes are flying, the distance between them in order to maintain the safety, it should be half miles. Okay, so they should not be closer than that distance. So they are saying that the two airplanes near an airport can be represented by the points 300, 455, 2800 and negative 250, 400 and 5000, where the coordinates are given in the feet and the hint is 1 mile equals to 5280 feet. How far apart are the planes? So far apart means that you have to find out the distance between them. Okay, so let's label it x1, y1 and z1 and the other coordinates as x2, y2 and z2. Okay, so here x1 plus x2 minus x1. So minus 250 minus x1 that is 300 whole square plus y2 that is 400 minus y1 that is 455 whole square plus z2 is 5000 minus 500, z1 is 2800 whole square. Write this in the calculator and you will get as 2268.37. Okay, feet. So the distance between the two airplanes is 2268.3 feet. Okay, are they in violation of the or approximately equals to 2268 feet? Okay, so let's write this one. Now, are they in the violation of regulation or not? Now, according to the safety regulations rule, they should be half mile apart. Okay, now the miles, 1 mile is 5280 feet. Our answer should be required in the feet. So half mile means if 1 mile is 5280 feet, so for the half mile you multiply it by the half. So half multiply by yani 0.5 multiply by 5280 gives us 2640 feet. Now check, okay, so at least this distance should be maintained. Now look at the distance which your airplanes are maintaining, right? So it is 2268, yani they are near to this distance, right? Because 2268 is less than 2640. So yes, they are violating the rules and regulation, okay? Because they are not maintaining the distance. So this lesson is very easy. The only thing is that you must memorize the formulas of the distance and the midpoint. And after that only you have to understand that either they are asking to find out the length or the distance, or they are asking to find out the midpoint halfway. Once you find out that what the question is asking you to determine, only write down the formula, label the coordinates and put it directly in the formula. Put the symbols, put the values in the calculator directly and get the answer. We will meet you with another topic in another video.